So in these next 4 videos, I'm going to walk you through the 4 steps to creating a successful cash discount or surcharge program. Now, of course, we've already created these programs, and so you don't have to worry about that. But I'm going to run through this with you just so that you can really understand the 4 steps that go into creating a successful program. Step number one is to notify the consumer. Now, again, I want to talk to you for just a second about this notification. So when we're talking about surcharging, there's no gray area whatsoever. We know exactly how to notify the consumer because Visa and MasterCard have actually given us example signs with example language that say this is how you should notify them. They've also given very specific instruction, okay? Now, what they've talked about with notifying the customer is that you have to have a sign prominently displayed at the point of entry and the point of sale. The point of entry and the point of sale. In other words, if it's a physical location, you need to have a sign on the front door and you need to have a sign at the register. If it's a website, you need to have a notification on the homepage of the website, which is the point of entry, as well as you need to have a sign on the shopping cart checkout page, which is the point of sale, right? So we have to have those 2 signs up. Now, what do the signs say? Well, again, if it's surcharging, it's very simple. We know exactly what to put there. If it's cash discount or in-kind incentive, well, there we run into some differences. Of course, there's different language that can be used, but the idea is that we have to make sure that we are notifying the consumer that we have a different cash price from our credit price. Now, there's a lot of different ways to word that, and there is some gray area here. There's some ambiguity because Visa and MasterCard really haven't come out with specifics about cash discounting because, frankly, they don't really have very much to do with cash discounting. It's about cash, right? So there isn't that much regulation. I think that will change over the next few years, and these things will be clarified. But for now, the only guidance we really have is the Durbin Amendment, which simply tells us we can't surprise the consumer. We have to make sure that they know that the regular price is one thing and then the cash discount price is another thing, and we have to notify them of that very, very clearly. So step number 1 is that the consumer must be notified. When you set somebody up, the signs are not optional. They might say, well, I want to do the program, but I don't want to put that sign on my front door. I just want to put it at the register. That's not okay? To make it compliant, you have to make sure that you're notifying the consumer. We're not trying to surprise the consumer. We're not trying to shock the consumer. And the good news of these programs is that no matter if it's surcharge or cash discount, consumers really don't seem to care that much. It's not like they're going to be losing a lot of business from this. So you want to make sure you're following the law and you're following the Visa rules. You've got to have a sign at the point of entry, and at the point of sale. So step number 1, we've got to notify the consumer. The language of the sign is going to depend on the type of program being used.